Hey Internet fam, we're pulling a goddess card for the month of November 2019. Today is November 7th. It is a Thursday. And last month's goddess was Lai Shi, the goddess of lightning and epiphany. I just posted that recap video yesterday. Oh, this is the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. I enjoy her work quite a lot. I use a few of her oracle decks, and I think they're all good, and this one is really just lovely. And just the artistry on this deck I love. I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. Okay. So while you're watching this video, while I'm shuffling these cards, let's all just intend that whatever knowledge and wisdom is about to come through, it is helpful, it is clear, it is nourishing, encouraging, perfectly aligned, inviting synchronicity in to have a say and to show us the way. Okay, here we go. For the highest good of all, let's see who we got guiding us this month. November 2019 is Persephone. Okay. Ooh, this Persephone card. Ooh, I love the look on her face. Let's give you guys a closer look. She's lovely. She's dark. But you know, Persephone is the queen of the underworld. So many people often think about her as a nymph, but she's also a queen. She's a nymph in the summertime, a queen in the wintertime. And all right, here we go. Okay, so first off, this is what I know of Persephone. She was the daughter of Demeter, a earth goddess, and she was promised to Hades by Zeus as if it was his right to promise his niece to another guy in marriage without her consent at all. Anyway, this is the Greek myth. So Hades is waiting, and they don't even know that she's supposed to marry him. And eventually he just comes up through a crack in the earth and kidnaps her, carries her back down to the underworld. And she stays there for a few days. Her mother is looking for her everywhere, stops tending the crops of the land, so the land starts to die. She can't find her anywhere. She doesn't know what's going on. Finally, and in different myths, so the myth of Persephone is from a more ancient myth about Ishtar, and about her sister Ereshkigal, and it kind of morphed into the Greek myth of Persephone. But eventually what happens is, since she's down there with Hades, there's a little bit of Stockholm syndrome that goes on. But also I think that Hades is never said to be an unkind person or an unfair one. He's just, the god of the underworld. He watches the souls in this cosmology that die. So he's intimidating, of course, but she eats 3 or 6 pomegranate seeds, I forget. There's this big feast, because the deal is, if you're in the underworld, if you eat any food, you have to stay. And so she eats 6 pomegranate seeds, or 3, I can't remember which it is. We'll probably say in the description. But the question there is, she was raised by a goddess. The question is, and she's a goddess in her own right, did she know that to eat the seeds of the pomegranate would keep her in the underworld? Or was it a choice that she was making? Or was it a mistake? I've heard various things, and I could see it either way myself too. Because if she's growing fond of Hades and falling in love with him, then, it makes sense that she would be persuaded. So what ended up happening was Demeter found her, and various myths, it happens various different ways, but they ended up making a deal that for half the year, she would be above ground, and while she was above ground, the ground would flourish and prosper because her mother was happy to have her back. And then in the winter, she would go down and be Hades' wife, the queen of the underworld, which is not the same as the Christian hell. The way the Greeks saw it, it was just where the people went after they died. It's like a whole thing going on down there. It wasn't like torture chambers and stuff the way that the modern Christians will believe that places underground where souls go are. It was just a completely different reality over there. So she does that for half the year and comes up to the top half the year. When she's down underneath the ground, her mother is sad and doesn't feed the crops because she's mourning her loss. And so that's the myth of Persephone that I know. So let's now look and see what the book says. All right, here we go. Oh, this is so funny, the way it starts, because of what it said. Persephone, Inexperience. It's funny because does she know? Does she not know? Sometimes not knowing is a great gift. Right now, the Greek goddess Persephone invites you into a state of open-hearted learning. Discernment comes with experience, and at this moment, it's okay to admit you don't know or fully understand what is in front of you. Be curious and teachable. The goddess Persephone will be with you to ensure you will not fall prey to unconscious commitments and dangerous alliances, just as her own naivety caused her to strike a terrible deal with the god of the underworld. I don't know if it was terrible. Whatever. It's my personal bias. That said, every experience has its value. No matter what choice you make right now, the consequences will have a lasting effect as you integrate your lessons and travel the road of destiny. This is so great. So for me personally, tomorrow I'm getting my Reiki Master Teacher attunement. I've been attuned to Reiki's level 1 and 2 first for like 14 years or something. From 2003 I got attuned. And then I've been attuned to those. And then I got my Reiki Master level a few years back. And then I got Holy Fire Reiki a year or two ago. And so now I'm getting the teaching level. So now I'll be able to teach Reiki. And it's never called me to get that level until now. So that I'm learning. I'm also studying the laying on of stones. I'm also reading the book When God Was a Woman. And oh my gosh, you guys, it's so amazing. And studying lots of various stuff like that. And learning some new interfaces for how to interact with you guys on the internet too. And also just very voracious for information right now because we're building this new paradigm and it really feels like it's happening. So, and to some extent it feels like it's a little bit, I'm holding my pieces of it up. And in order to do that, I need to have super solid integrity and eyes wide open and being very steady. And I'm down, I'm doing it, but I also am having to accumulate new information. So that's cool. And also with my work changing so much, my goal is to have my website, the new version of it, up and running on 11/11. That's my goal. So we'll see if it gets done in time. I know how I want it to feel, and I'm trying to figure out how to imbue the energy I want into the images that you're going to be looking at and the words and the feeling. So all right, Persephone, ways to honor her. Well, she is a nymph and wearing flowers in her hair, of course. A lot of the depictions of Persephone you'll see in classic art, she has flowers in her hair. She's running around in a nymphy kind of way. So I personally love flowers. I love having flowers around me. I love having flowers in my hair and on my person. And so throughout this month, when I do that, when I choose to wear them or have them around, I will make a mental note and a call to the archetypal energy of Persephone to not only bring forth the life of the land through me and the work that I do, but also since we are in, at least right now, November 2019, we're in the underworldy time right now. So perfect. Yes, I would love to have the queen of the underworld as a guide. And I've never heard one story about Persephone being unfair or unkind or not a wonderful queen. So there you go. That's the card. Well, the goddess for November. I hope you guys enjoyed playing around with her too. I would encourage you to look up your own stories and see, because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know much about her personality or anything. I haven't read much. I know the classic story, but I know that's how she came to power. But when she was in power, what was she like? What did she do? Who was she? I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to research. And I'm sure there are things that will describe that. All right, sending you guys lots of love. What else to report? I know the website's opening up and that's going to have all the things. But yeah, there's a lot of things coming and a lot of things are changing and I'm into it. And sending you all the blessings to carry you through whatever it is that you're experiencing. See you soon. Bye, guys.